What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube, and today I am wrestling with myself. WrestleMania 33 is right around the corner. It's WWE's biggest pay-per-view of the year. It is generally in wrestling, the biggest pay-per-view of the year. And the hype for it is kind of meh, the last couple of years. Some weird booking decisions and some matches that aren't benefiting anybody were made for the last few WrestleManias. And some of the cards were very, very good, and some were not so good. WrestleMania 30 and 31 were excellent. Last year's, not as much. But Mania 33 is, I think, the first weekend of April, so it's about 2 or 3 months away. Royal Rumble's around the corner. I'll be doing a prediction and review video for that show once that happens, so please check back for that. But I decided last year for WrestleMania, I did my How I'd Book WrestleMania card. I did a blog, and I got a lot of good feedback, so I figured I would bring it to video this year, and I would do a video for you guys on the matches that I would book and how I'd book the card for WrestleMania 33 myself. So I'm going to take the guys that are currently on the roster and use that and use the recent storyline projection to make my own version of a WrestleMania card compared to what they have now. I think I can do a little better than Vince is going to do for WrestleMania's match-by-match card. So I'm going to break down the card for you guys here. I'll start with the pre-show. I think I have 2 pre-show matches right now. And again, you can always throw a couple of other ones in there. But the opening pre-show match, I would have the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. That's been happening for the last couple of years. It's going to happen again this year, most likely. And my winner for that is Braun Strowman. I do like Braun Strowman's recent squash match push, and he's been getting a lot more mic time. He's showing a lot more skills. He's not very good in the ring yet, but he's come a long way in character. He's been protected and unbeaten so far, for the most part, which is good. But I don't think he's ready for the spot they're trying to give him. It seems like the rumor is he's going to be facing Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, possibly even winning the Royal Rumble and fighting Reigns for the world title at Mania. That is way too high a spot for him. I do think he's underrated as a character and as a force right now. I do like him, but I don't think he's ready for the main event WrestleMania push just because he is a big guy. But he's not very good in the ring, and he has a long way to go. So I'd give him this big Battle Royal win here, so he still gets a big WrestleMania moment, he still gets a big win and stays protected, but he's not being forced down our throats or being given the monster push. So I have Strowman win this match in the opening match. This way, again, he's protected, but he's not overexposed. The next match would be, I just have written down tag title stuff. Raw and SmackDown need tag title matches. But I have like 11 matches on this show, plus the pre-show matches, so there's not going to be a ton of time, even with a 4-hour show and a 2-hour pre-show, to fit everyone on the main card. So you have maybe, on Raw, you can have Cesaro and Sheamus defend the tag titles against Enzo and either Enzo and Cass or the Club or a 3-way. On SmackDown, American Alpha versus Breezango, I think would be a good tag title match. I think they could steal the pre-show and have a very good moment there. So you have your champions get some defenses and wins at WrestleMania. Then we have for the main show, for the Intercontinental Title, Miz versus Ambrose. These two are starting a really good feud. They're using Renee and Maurice. Miz has been on fire. He deserves a big title match at this WrestleMania. Dean Ambrose has been a main eventer for most of the year. He deserves a big solo match at WrestleMania. The IC belt's been important over the past year. That deserves a big defense at WrestleMania. So continuing the Miz versus Ambrose feud, Ambrose defends the belt against the Miz at Mania. You give the belt a one-on-one match. You give these two guys who deserve it a big solo match at WrestleMania, even as an opener. I think it'd be a good one. And I'd probably have Dean Ambrose get the win here by using Renee, Maurice, whatever you want to do. Protect the Miz still, but I think Ambrose gets the win. Then I have Cruiserweight ladder match. Cruiserweight title should be defended at WrestleMania. It's a new division. It needs a big show-stealing moment. I think having a big ladder match here, they always do some sort of a 6-man or 8-man ladder match at WrestleMania. I think this would be a good spot for the Cruiserweights who can fly around and use the ladders and do death-defying stuff. I'd make this either a 4-way or 6-way. I'd put like Neville in there, Cedric Alexander, Rich Swann, maybe Kendrick and Perkins. You could put in Lindsay Dorado or Noam Dar. I'd put 4 or 6 guys in here and let these guys steal the show. I'd have Neville win the Cruiserweight title here at Mania. But I think either way, this could be a very underrated match that could steal the show. It gives everybody a spot on the card. It gives the Cruiserweight division a chance to shine. Then we have Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt. I'm pretty sure this match is going to happen anyway in real life. That's where it seems like it's heading. They're no longer tag champions. They're teasing dissension. So I think you'll get this match on the actual card, and I'm going to keep it here as well. I think Bray Wyatt needs a big WrestleMania win. He's lost the last several years. He was involved with The Rock but didn't wrestle last year. He lost to Cena. He lost to Taker. He needs a big match against a big established veteran who he can actually beat. I think Bray Wyatt beating Randy Orton here would still be a big match for both guys. It makes it like a main event way down the card. And Bray Wyatt finally gets his big win against an established guy at WrestleMania to get his career off to getting back to what he should be as a character. So, big match for these guys. Bray Wyatt finally wins at WrestleMania. SmackDown Women's Championship, Alexa Bliss defends against Becky Lynch. These two could steal the show. They haven't been matching up well together chemistry-wise. The promos have been a little hokey, and the matches have been just kind of alright. Not as good as they can do. And I think they can have a really good match here at WrestleMania, one-on-one. I think Alexa retains. That's what I would do anyway. I think she needs to have a nice long run as heel champion and build up more competitors on SmackDown for her. So I think we might get this match in real life, possibly on the pre-show, but hopefully it's on the main show, and hopefully Alexa gets the win. And this should be, in my opinion, hopefully their best match to date. Then I have Raw Women's Championship, Charlotte versus Bayley. Pretty sure we're getting this one on the actual WrestleMania as well. I want something for Sasha. She needs to have a match as well, possibly her against Nia Jax or Emelina, whatever. You could put it in there as well. But I think Charlotte and Bayley need this one-on-one match, and they could be one of the best matches at Mania. They match up very well as characters. The story they're trying to tell with Bayley can wind up being told very well as an underdog, and she can get the big win in front of a massive crowd and get a huge start to her career. She's been kind of start and stopped on the main roster in kind of a weird way. And I think winning the championship in a show-stealing match at Mania one-on-one and being the one to finally end Charlotte's undefeated streak on pay-per-view would be the way to get Bayley over as a massive star with the main audience. And of course, Charlotte still stays strong because she'll be like 18-1 by that point on pay-per-view. So she's still strong as well. This one I have U.S. title. Y2J versus Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn. All three of these guys deserve the big spots. Jericho's been one of the biggest shining stars on the entire, in the wrestling industry this year, let alone on Raw. He's been, his evolution and comeback and kind of morphing into this stupid idiot list character has been amazing. He has the U.S. title right now, and he should keep it up until Mania. I think him defending his title at WrestleMania is the spot that he deserves. I think it's a nice big push for the U.S. belt as well as for Jericho. And it gives these two guys, Sami Zayn's been kind of toiling around. He had the kind of mini feud with Braun going on. That's been okay. But he hasn't had much to do. I think getting a big title match here against Jericho can really do a lot for him. And I think the crowd will get behind him big time. It kind of gets him back on track as the underdog everybody cheers for. And Finn Balor, of course, is not back yet. He's still injured. But he's rumored to come back at the Royal Rumble or the night after. So I think we're going to have Balor back. And this wasn't as big a spot for him as I would have liked, because he's going from being world champion to now going for the U.S. title. But a three-way dance against Jericho for a title at Mania is still a big spot for him. He's still a new guy in the company, and he'd get a big match here. And I think he wins the U.S. title if I'm booking this right. I think having him win a championship at WrestleMania, although it's not the main event scene of the world title, he's still going to have plenty of cachet being the one to beat Jericho at WrestleMania for the U.S. belt. And these three guys together are all great workers, so they can steal the show here. This can be a very good, underrated match if I were booking it. Then we have John Cena versus Samoa Joe. This is the one NXT debut that I'm bringing up from NXT. He's rumored to also be in the Rumble or be at the night after Rumble. Everyone's saying he has nothing left to gain being in NXT anymore. They're bringing more NXT guys in, so I think Joe goes to the main roster either at the Rumble or the night after. I have him go to SmackDown because SmackDown needs more main eventers, more big guys. The roster is much smaller and they need more forces. And I think there's no better way to debut somebody than coming in and going against John Cena right away. If Joe comes out Tuesday on SmackDown and says, hey, I dominated NXT, I've been dominating around the world, I have a past with this guy, because they used to wrestle back in the UWF days, I would have Joe come out and say, listen, I'm not here just to participate. I won a WrestleMania match, and I want to go against the biggest dog in the yard. This guy's been the flag bearer for the company for the last 10 years. I want to take him out on the biggest stage at WrestleMania. I'm calling out John Cena. And these two can have an awesome match. They have a past history, but more so, they're both very good workers. And this could be, again, another show stealer. I don't think we'll see this in real life. I think we're going to be getting, if we get Joe at all, I don't know, but I think we're going to be getting Cena versus Taker, and I don't care for that match. I'd much rather see Cena go against somebody at WrestleMania who can get pushed right away, elevated to a big spot, and get the win over Cena at Mania. If Joe beats Cena with a muscle buster at WrestleMania, not only does it not hurt John Cena, but it's an amazing show-stealing match, and it gives Joe a big WrestleMania win over the most established guy in the entire company. right away within his first month in the company. So you're making a brand new star on the biggest stage. Seth Rollins versus Triple H. We're going to get this one in real life. This one's been brewing for months. This is the obvious choice for Rollins. He has to have a good showing in a one-on-one match. Triple H is still a very good wrestler when he comes out. Seth Rollins is one of the most underrated wrestlers in the world, one of the best on the roster. I think this will be a good match. I think we're going to have it in real life. Obviously, the choice here is Seth Rollins wins. Triple H hasn't won a match in quite some time at Mania, and he shouldn't. He's already established. This loss is not going to hurt him, but it's going to give Seth Rollins a big main event style one-on-one victory at WrestleMania to establish him once again as one of the top guys. He's been a little flat since returning. I think he needs a big WrestleMania win here and a show-stealing match, and this is what will be done for him. So Rollins beats Triple H. Final 3 matches. I have WWE title match. AJ Styles versus The Undertaker. Taker, again, is rumored to fight John Cena. And people really aren't sure what Styles is going to be doing. People have said Styles versus Balor could be a possibility, which would be a good match, and they have the club ties. But I think after the year Styles has had, with his debut at the Rumble, the feud with Jericho, the feud with Reigns, the feud with Cena, the feud with Ambrose, winning the world title, being the legend that he is, having the legendary year, I think he needs a big standout main event match. And while Balor's a great match, it would be a very good match on Vince's card, I think they can do better. I think Styles can work well with Taker. I think he can have Taker's best match since Punk. He works an even more high-flying style. Taker just has to catch him and fall over and stuff. I think the match could be very good. I think Styles getting Taker one-on-one is a big, huge thing for him. He's already cemented as a star now, being champion and beating Cena clean. But beating Taker here at WrestleMania in Taker's yard, being only the second time Taker's lost at Mania, again, cements Styles as not just a star, but one of the biggest stars in the business, and has him around for the next 3 or 4 years before he retires. So I think Styles beating Taker here at Mania not only is an excellent match and a big spot, and a big title match for Taker as well, but it gets Styles the big WrestleMania win he did not get last year, and cements him as not only a star, but a legend. I have Goldberg versus Roman Reigns. Everybody Roman Reigns is rumored right now to be facing Braun Strowman for the world title. Nobody wants Goldberg versus Strowman. Most of the fans don't want Strowman, or don't want Reigns as a main eventer. People are tired of seeing Reigns forced down their throats. They're tired of seeing him in main events, tired of seeing him with the belt. So I think this cures that and also gives us a big nostalgic match. Instead of doing Reigns Strowman that's going to suck and Goldberg Lesnar that's going to suck, which are the two they're probably going to do, divide it up. Have Reigns versus Goldberg. This way you've got a nostalgic older star who has the cachet, has the star power, is protected, against your new star in Reigns, and have the two beasts collide. The spear guys, the beasts collide one-on-one. This way, Reigns is not world champion. Reigns is not in the main event. You can put him 3 or 4 down from the top. So he's not going to be, have the title, not forced down our throats, not being in the main event, but also gets a major one-on-one match against a huge star. And this also uses Goldberg in a better way. Just instead of facing Lesnar, when the two guys go away the next Monday and are never seen again until SummerSlam, this way Goldberg can put over Roman Reigns, so Reigns still gets a big one-on-one main event match. He still wins and is protected and gets the big moment on his career, but he doesn't have the title. He's not being forced down our throats. And Goldberg is used to put somebody over and use his cachet to make Reigns a star. So this cures the problem with the fans and Reigns, and also still gives Reigns a big, massive match and a big win. And finally, your main event for the Universal title, Kevin Owens defends against Brock Lesnar. Again, much better than the other card would be. Owens against Jericho is rumored. I think we're going to get that match for the U.S. title, and it'd be a good match. They have good chemistry. It makes sense. It would be a very solid match. And again, Lesnar versus Goldberg probably is going to suck. But I think this is much better this way. You already have Jericho defending his title in a better 3-way. You have Goldberg in a better match with Reigns and using him better. So why not use Lesnar better as well? Give Owens has been your world champion of your bigger brand Raw in Vince's mind, and he hasn't been used properly. Give Kevin Owens the WrestleMania main event. He's a hard worker, he's a good talker, he's a great character, he's a great wrestler. He's got everything you need. He could be your top heel for the next 10 years if you use him properly. He hasn't had the big clean win or the big money main event match yet that he deserves, and this would be the spot. Again, using guys like Lesnar who are part-timers, using their clout and cachet to lose to the current guys on the roster to make more stars. I'm always an advocate of looking to the future, building your company with the current guys you have, and using your part-time guys that have clout to lose to the current guys. So Kevin Owens beats Brock Lesnar in the main event of WrestleMania. Owens going into the main event, challenging Lesnar to a fight, or defending against Lesnar, whatever, either way you want to look at it. Owens getting the main event at Mania, wrestling against Lesnar, and beating Lesnar. Now, granted, Lesnar has lost some cachet because he lost to Goldberg, so they kind of ruined that mystique a little bit. It'd be nicer if Owens was the first one to beat Lesnar after all this time. But either way, at least this way, you have Kevin Owens retaining his title in the main event of Mania. And what should be an awesome match, seeing these two powerful bulls throw each other around, I think would be excellent as well. So again, you're using your part-time guys better. You're giving a major spot and a title defense to a current guy and giving your current star the win to become a future star. If he beats Lesnar clean, retaining his title, right away you've got this guy, Kevin Owens, being a made man for life. So what do you think of my card? I know it's a lot of matches, but what do you think of my card? What do you think of Vince's card? What do you think Vince is going to book for WrestleMania 33? What do you think of the matches that I gave you guys? Who should win my matches? What do you think would steal the show out of the ones that I gave? And give me your predictions for your WrestleMania card and how you'd book WrestleMania down below. So this has been Jason Burke, guys, and Wrestling with myself. I will see you all next time for the Royal Rumble predictions and results video. So take care. Until the next opening bell, stay blessed.